This time on Roadkill Garage, it's a tale of two pickups. First, our 66 D100, and then
the Rescue Ranchero.
boom! Oh man, I love this truck. What we're dealing with here is a 1966 Dodge D100 pickup truck. And about 2 years ago, Mike Finnegan and I flew to Colorado and picked this thing up and drove it all the way home for an episode of Roadkill. The thing is, I was trying to convince Finnegan that this is the coolest vintage body style truck that you can possibly find. And I don't think he was buying into it. Speaking of body style, this thing is often categorized into a kind of Dodge in this style that's called a swept line. But this is not a swept line because those are full-bodied beds. This is a step side, which was known as the Utaline. It's got the polyspherical 318 V8 in the thing. Granny 4-speed. This thing's ready to go, except for the fact that it sat in our back storage lot for 2 full years. And now, apparently it doesn't run and the clutch pedal snaps right to the floor. So Dulcich and I have some work to do to get it running. In addition, a buddy hooked me up with this early Ranchero that a guy had built in like 1972 or something. I haven't really seen it because, as you'll find out, it is covered in trash. So what I want to do on the show is get the D100 going, drive to Tracy, California, unbury this car, and then once we lay eyes on it, we'll know if maybe we'll fix it up on Roadkill Garage, or maybe it'll just be a flipper. I'm not sure yet. One thing I know, we're gonna have fun doing it. You know why this is the Utaline, Dulcich?
Because
It's a utility.
it doesn't have much utility when we're pushing it.
Basically, I want to un-roadkill this thing a bunch. It's got a lot of just trash in it and just goofiness. But first, we have to make it run. Fuel, air, spark, compression.
Second,
What?
you want to be a solid bro?
Okay.
The headliner.
You want to take that out before we even make it run?
Well, I know, because I'm going to be in there cranking while that's just raining a whole bunch of distress right on top of my head.
That's like Grandma's sofa turned into a headliner.
I know. It's the worst I've ever seen.
You know, Finnegan was squeamish about the headliner too.
Okay, I am being a prima donna, and you might as well say a mask and eye protection, but I brought you a mask too.
Yeah, but if I don't wear it, I'll look cooler than you.
Oh, I feel I can go to town on this. Oh man, it really like rains a bunch of fuzz. Look at all the fuzz raining off this. Decay
All
so
of
that.
this?
Ah. Man.
There we go. That was a big piece.
Oh, wow.
That was good. Ah. Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
You suck.
Why?
I mean, you should do the vacuuming.
That's what I'm doing. I'm wrangling the vacuum right now.
We're detailing this thing flawlessly. It better run. Steve, that was an all-show, no-go maneuver.
I know.
Make
We
it
look
run.
good. Okay, many people might not know this, Freiberger, but one of the signature series of these Dodge trucks is a vertically opening hood.
I know.
So when you need to remove the 318
The offending 318?
and put a 440 in there instead, you don't even have to take the hood off.
Okay, here's a lot of varnishy gas pouring out of the carburetor. I think there might be an electric fuel pump.
It looks like this line is going to a filter here.
Is it going through that mechanical pump or no?
Sure looks like it to me.
Okay. We made a supplemental fuel system, ran the fuel line up over the roof.
There's a piece of hose there, but
Okay.
no
There's no
pump.
pump or anything. It just goes to that tank in the back. There's no electric pump. I think let's pull this off and see if it pumps, right?
Yeah, but I mean, now that we're all detailed out, that is kind of unsightly.
What?
the hose going over the top of the cab.
Oh, I know, it was unsightly always, but we can fix that later. I want to make it run. See,
Okay.
He keeps worrying about all the cosmetics, man.
I just want this thing to be beautiful.
You paint one car, and the next thing you know, everything's got to be flawless.
Look, man. All right, I just work here. I'll check the fuel system, all right? How about that?
Okay, we're gonna pull the fuel line off, and I'm gonna crank it, or he will, and we'll see if the fuel pump actually works. And then we'll also get a sense of how bad the gasoline is, as in like varnished and stuff like that. The tool.
Oh, not bad.
Came flying in. Oh! That's like black.
Wow.
Okay, that's not gonna run.
No way.
Well, as long as it's apart, let's, oh, that stinks. Let's squirt some into the bottle and see what it looks like and see if the pump works.
Okay.
Oh,
really?
That's so bad. Go again. Okay, stop. The pump works fine, but
Great.
wait till you see this gasoline. Oh, it looks like a Guinness. It is exactly like a Guinness.
Oh, it is. It's even got the head on top like the draft.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That is junk gasoline. No wonder it doesn't
My God,
run.
I've never seen gasoline look like that.
How does it do that after just sitting?
Wow.
All right, let's just run it off a can.
Okay.
We got a can full of gas, rubber hose going to the mechanical fuel pump, and a little ether for good measure. Let's find out if it works.
I know what to do.
You've got that technology?
Clear?
Yep. What is with the exhaust leak?
I don't know.
I don't remember anything about that.
Really?
Okay, will it run again?
Not without ether.
Okay. All right, you'll notice the technique there, which is we're trying to keep it running to burn all of the bad gas out of the float bowl. And it's a really dangerous thing to do because if it backfires, it can backfire up to the can. But we lived, and I think we need to keep going, right?
Yes.
Fire it. I think it might be good. I would have thought it would have run through the float bowl by now, wouldn't you?
Yeah. It might be kind of gunked up. What do you think the asphyxiation risk is from 1 to 10?
Oh, carbon monoxide poisoning?
Yeah.
I'm immune.
I know, but what about the whole film crew?
Ah.
Those guys aren't Freiburger tough.
You guys want to open doors?
Yeah.
Okay, this is ridiculous. Remember this truck ran and drove perfectly 2 years ago? I didn't even think to check the water. And it turns out that the entire heater hose broke off from here on the manifold all the way over here. How that heater hose from there to there got missing in the last 2 years with nobody touching the truck, I don't know. How it happened when this one is super flexible, I don't know. Who threw it away? I don't know. But I do know, we just ran the thing for like 2 minutes with no water in it, and now I have to fix it.
To cut the hose?
I am cutting the hose with a razor blade as we speak, and it is puking all over me.
I can give you a Ginsu knife that has just the right ability to cut hoses perfectly.
Hey, Steve?
Yeah.
Put a hose clamp on this quickly.
Yeah, let's just put that guy on there. Put your thumb on it. Yeah, it's 5/8 as well.
Yeah, okay. And now it's done draining.
How convenient.
Yes.
If you procrastinate enough.
It is not a Roadkill Garage until we've got coolant all over the floor. Okay. Now we got it plugged off, time for water. And then I've got an idea. Let's see if there's oil in it. You know, when we store these cars like this for too long, I should just assume that they are a full junkyard find and approach them just like that. Go through all the basics. Are all the fluids here? Is the gas wrecked? Basically, we create our own barn finds just by ignoring stuff. You know what, though? It doesn't happen as often as it used to.
We could do a show called Will It Run? Could be a real hit.
Will it run?
Yeah, Will It Run?
Ta-da! We're good. The water problem is solved. We're gonna try and make it run on actual gasoline for the second time. Go.
All right, here goes.
Look, Ma, no hand. Wow.
We've officially grown up a bunch.
Yeah, I do not remember this exhaust leak problem. It was probably there, but I don't remember it.
Yeah, it might need a little cleaning out of the carburetor with some brake clean.
Yeah.
Maybe take the idle mixture screw out and spray in there.
Steve went all out and cleaned up the carburetor. Once he's got it running, I'm also gonna use brake cleaner, which is flammable, and spray it around the base to see if we've got any vacuum leaks. If there's a vacuum leak, you'll hear the engine change tone. Importantly, the brake clean is non-chlorinated. You don't want to use the chlorinated stuff because when you burn it, it makes phosgene gas, and that's like nerve gas, and you die. I don't think we have any vacuum leaks. That's surprising and good.
Adjust the idle, Freiberger.
Okay. I think we're good. Not bad.
Oh man, I'm super happy that thing is running great.
I really liked the poly when we had it before, when it was driving. I hope it has its same finesse now.
It might even be better.
It's better already.
I know, it sounds great though, you know, so.
Next up, I think we gotta make the clutch work.
Okay.
This truck has hydraulic master cylinder for the clutch, which is something I always used to think of for later model stuff, but obviously they did this back before time began. So our hope is that we can just pop the lid off the master cylinder, top it up with fluid, bleed it by pumping it a bunch of times, and then go on our merry way. How's it feel?
It doesn't take much pedal effort.
Try the brakes.
Rock solid.
That's what we need. All right, clutch and brakes are healed. Before we drive it, I'm thinking we need to do battery hold down, maybe fix that exhaust leak, rig a fuel system, and air cleaner. I'm jacking this thing up by its axle. Here's an interesting thing about these Dodges is that they maintained a solid front axle way later than Ford and Chevy did, meaning one axle wheel to wheel. It is not independent front suspension. It's really old school, even for 1966. Okay, you're gonna need to do it from the top. You wanna put it on the nut and then wedge the wrench up against the block? Okay, ready, Steve?
Yeah.
You good?
Yep.
That's off. Steve, this is junk.
Yeah, I know, I was looking at it from up. Oh, it's really junk. It's
garbage.
It's garbage.
It might even be trash. The exhaust situation was never gonna work on this truck. For whatever reason, somebody had a flange on it that was totally the wrong size for the manifold, so it was on there all crooked. And this type of flange doesn't seal against that manifold. It takes a regular gasket like this. So we went to our local exhaust shop and they only had stuff for 2 1/4, and the bolt spread was still too wide. And so Dulcich hogged this one, it fit. Now he has to hog the other one, and then we got a bunch of tubing. We're gonna fabricate the whole exhaust system. We just got a 90-degree bend from the muffler shop, and I think it's gonna work for the head pipe. I just need to test fit it up in here. I bolted the flange to the manifold. We eyeballed the angle of the dangle on the pipe. I marked it with a marquee, and now we're gonna weld it on. Or actually, we're just gonna tack it to make sure it fits good. Go for it.
Make sure there's nothing flammable. I think that's a can of gasoline. Yeah, we just set that up as
further away.
We just set that up there for a gag. You know, the producers with these reality shows.
Actual can of gasoline. Ow. Ah. Okay.
I think that's a tack.
All right, now we can test fit it, and good to go. We're gonna put the whole exhaust system together and tack it before we weld anything. Okay, it is on there. We're home free. It's gonna be easy, straight pipe. That's a bam. Yeah, we did not have pro fitment on here. I'm filling like a 3/16 gap.
Don't mistake this for a well-known Mopar muscle truck. I call this the brown pickup. It's my 1977 Dodge Stepside, and you might have seen it on the very first episode of Roadkill that I was ever in, episode 40, the Duster Rescue. It's getting a much hotter engine, and these were the mufflers that were on it. They were practically new, so I'm gonna repurpose these, and we're gonna use them on the 66.
Okay, ready? Okay, ready to take the exhaust off and fully weld it. We're just cobbling this exhaust system really quickly, and I got one spot of it too close to the trans cross member, so I'm just gonna bash on the thing so it doesn't rattle against that cross member. What you want to do in this situation is overkill, because you don't want to install it, have it be wrong, and then do it again. Probably good. You good?
Yeah. I'm just gonna hold it until you get your thing situated close.
Okay, that's blazing hot, but it's done. All right, Steve's on the exhaust hanger. We're done with the exhaust system, and you know the first thing you gotta do, even before putting the truck on the ground, is fire it up, see how it sounds. We got 2 wagers going. First of all, will it have an exhaust leak at the head pipe?
No.
Okay, I'm hoping not too. Second of all, I think it'll fire right up. Steve thinks I'm gonna have to sauce it up to make it run.
The choke's not even set up to function.
When was the last time you had a carburetor with a functional choke?
Never.
Right.
Yeah.
Fire it up.
All right. It's not gonna fire up without the ether.
It will. You know what's gonna happen is your old rusty mufflers that we installed are gonna blow a bunch of crud out.
And here goes.
And it sounds flawless. Listen to that. Hey, don't give it the dulcet 7,500 RPM.
It's really quiet.
Yeah. Man, you wanted to go to 7,500 though.
I did not. I was never even over.
Dulcich revs the absolute
3,000.
wee out of stuff. The exhaust works so well, we can only hear the engine purr like a sewing machine. Unfortunately, we can also hear this front wheel being like locked up. So next thing I'm gonna do is take that apart and try and fix it.
Okay, you fix that, and I'll handle the air cleaner.
It's not a very cool division of labor, but okay. Pads are good, shoes are good. I'm just gonna repack the wheel bearings and readjust them because they were way too loose. Steve says, don't take the seal out, just throw some grease on the bearing. So that's what I'm gonna do, because every time I think I'm right, Steve is right. He's right every time, 50% of the time. It's amazing how much grease these things hold. I'm installing it. It's gonna be good enough. Here's the problem. It's not just the wheel bearing that was loose, it's also the king pins. When you have a solid axle like this, you have a pin that goes through the spindle. that allows it to pivot and turn. Sometimes there's bearings, sometimes there's bushings, but regardless, it's shot. What am I gonna do about it? Nothing. There we go, it's all together. You don't hear any ugly noise. You also don't hear the brake pads dragging a little bit or brake shoes. I'm gonna deal with that adjustment later. First, I gotta deal with the fact that these lug studs are not awesome. I'm gonna run this die over them, which is gonna be tough because Steve didn't have one that's hex-shaped. Okay, I'm gonna finish this up, it's not too bad. Then move over to the other side and do the same thing. Look at this one. Oh, first of all, it doesn't want to turn. The brakes are adjusted way differently than the other side. And the stud is missing and the hole is all wallered out. So if we have one, we're gonna have to weld it in the backside. There we go. Brute force.
And ignorance.
Are they grooved or no?
Oh, take a feel of that.
Oh,
I know.
it's like one of the worst I've ever seen.
I know. And the spring is broken. That part's broken right there.
Oh, it is?
That's why this is all lying in the bottom of the thing.
Yep.
Okay, so let me go find a spring just like this one.
That'd be great. I'll start re-engineering this.
So we had 4 to 5 wheel stubs on this hub, and one was completely missing. Luckily, I've got a whole box of like takeout studs, and I think this one should do the trick. I'm gonna knock it in with a hammer, and then we'll be fixed. So it gets in. My mission here is to get the fuel system going, and we're gonna try to revive the tank behind the seat. The first thing I'm gonna do is blow through the line to make sure that's clear. I know there's a bunch of old varnished fuel in there, so I'm gonna try to pump it out with the little electric pump, but that's the plan. Empty it, put new gas in, a bunch of fuel filters, and we're probably good to go.
Here's a classic. When you've got a fuel tank that's filled with crud and rust and things like that, you want to go with the old 3 to 5 filter trick. See, the deal is, we know that the gas tank has got a bunch of rust flakes in it and stuff. So I got clear filters so that I can see the debris inside them, and I'm gonna daisy chain them all together. But there's more. Sometimes the parts store only has the kind that you can't see into. So if that's the case, you want to take one that you can see and put it at the end of the chain so that you can judge what's happening with the whole shebang. And then the brilliance of it is that once this first one clogs, all you do is remove it and then hook up the second one, and on and on and on. It's gonna be perfect.
The level of genius here is staggering, Freiberger.
Thanks, Dulcich. It's high praise from the wise and all-knowing engine master. He's gonna fire it up. Hopefully there's enough gas already in the float bowl of the carburetor to make it run enough to pump through all of these. Look at that cold fire up. Oh man, it's already blasting through.
Really?
Oh, that's some pretty good action. There we go. It's coming.
More
it
fuel,
should be filling
more
the bowl.
fuel.
There we go. Yes. Oh, stop. I think this filter has a hole in it. Let's see if the hose clamp fixes it. It did. Okay. Let me show you how this is already working. You can see some dark sediment in the very first one. You can see just a tiny bit in the second one, and the third one, crystal clear. Done. Test drive?
Yeah.
We'll put wheels and tires on, and we're driving this pooch. I figured you should drive because I've already experienced the absolute pleasure of the D100.
Oh yeah, it's just like my T300, except this V8 power.
Whoa! Dude. This thing is not gonna like Dulcich RPM. Oh, whoa! Remember? You said slam the hood?
Yeah.
That was a good save. That almost wrecked.
Yeah.
Man, that was bad. Steve saved the day. We're driving down just the dirt road and the hood flew open. He stabbed the brakes before it flew into the windshield and broke the hinges and everything. I thought I had this thing closed. Remember he told me to slam it? I mean, that seems closed, right?
It seems pretty well latched, but if that happens at 50 or 60 miles an hour on a freeway,
I know.
It's show over, man. It'll go windshield destroyed, hood
You want to
destroyed.
ratchet it? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe for safety.
Will that clear all this?
Oh, yeah. That.
Okay, that's seemingly latched.
Okay.
All right, let's go. Oh, don't over rev it.
Don't worry, I won't. This thing won't even rev high enough to hurt itself. I want to see what it's got.
Feels pretty strong.
Yeah.
Can you now see? Oh, you should try the brakes before we have to have them. How's the swerve?
How do you like that? It's got all the brakes.
Can you now see why I was hesitant to give up on the Poly 318?
Yeah. This thing runs like a champ.
You know what? We should explain to the audience why I refer to this engine as the Poly 318. It's polyspherical. That's the shape of the combustion chamber in the cylinder head. It is called an A motor, which was the precursor to the Chrysler LA engine, which was the small block. And LA meant light A engine, lighter than this one. Some people call this a big block Poly or a big block 318. That's wrong. It's actually still a small block.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, did we already clog a filter?
We've got no gasoline in the carburetor.
Let me have a look. I'm just gonna pull that filter out.
I was totally not expecting any problem.
No, me neither. I thought it was flawless. Yeah, this fuel pump might have croaked. We might need to feed it with the other one. But look at all the sediment in that baby.
I saw a whole bunch spill out the gasoline.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if you think about it, these filters are now performing as intended. Just think, if you had an EV, you wouldn't have any of this fun.
No.
Let's try it again.
Okay. Doesn't puddle as good. But there's no,
There's no fuel in the bowl.
no.
Our mechanical fuel pump must have just died.
Or the Sacchero in the gas tank might be completely clogged up. Clogged once again.
You know what I'm gonna do is pull the hose off and see if I'm getting any squirt. Now what's happening is that it won't start again. Obviously there's no fuel in the bowl and it wasn't that first filter. So we're wondering if either the sock in the gas tank clogged up or fuel pump died. So my next trick is gonna be taking the hose off and finding out if the fuel pump squirts. Yeah, Steve, there's no fuel in the last filter.
The one up by the radiator hose?
Yes. All right, crank it. I'm gonna see if it squirts. Nothing. Zero. So it's either the sock or the pump. So that means my whole fantasy of making this stock fuel tank work is probably gonna fall apart. What's our next plan of action?
I say we put the electric fuel pump on the line coming from the tank, point the other end at a suitable vessel to collect gasoline, and then turn it on and see if gasoline gets sucked out of the tank.
All right, Steve, I already have a clue for you. When I took the hose off the hard line, it went. What does that mean?
Ah, that means it's plugged up in the tank.
Uh-huh.
Aha.
This underhood is very echoey. Echo!
At this point, we could have a concerto. It's like the Hollywood Bowl.
It
You
is.
know, like if our whole...
La 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 la. Yeah. Okay, ready? The sock in that tank is garb. So let me explain this. There is a tube inside the fuel tank that's on the sending unit that picks up the gasoline and sends it to the front of the car. They have a sock on them from the factory, which is a little plastic thing.
Screen, basically.
And so it's not as aggressive as a filter, but that's what it does. It keeps out the big chunks. But when you have a bunch of rust in the tank, that all gets stuck in that sock, and you get what you see here, which is no fuel flow to the front of the car. Here's the scenario. We gotta get up to that guy's house Saturday. So we're gonna have to go back to the roadkill version of running the rubber up and over the hood into our boat tank that we already bought in the bed.
Okay, at this point, we start the engine.
Uh-huh. We got fuel.
I know.
I thought I heard squirtage. There we go. Solved. Now we can finally do our road test to see if there's anything else wrong with this thing.
Man, this thing,
It
got
pulls.
plenty of pep.
I know.
That's all you need.
I know. Now you know why I didn't want to put the 440 in it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Good enough for what it is. So I think what we have to do now is wheels and tires. I don't think we have to do the float needle and seat anymore.
No, it cleared out by itself.
We're hitting the road tomorrow. It's a happy roadkill day. Last night when I was installing the front wheels and tires, we found out that the wheel was bent really badly, and actually there were some cracks in the sidewall of the tire because they were 20 years old. But fortunately, Dulcich had this slot mag sitting around since the dark ages, and we got some new tires put on this morning, and we're gonna be ready to go. So we're gonna be in good shape. I'm gonna slam this on here and the other one, and then we're out of here. Okay, ready to go?
Yeah.
Why is it running terrible?
It's cold. And there's no choke.
Ah,
How do you like the new tires and wheels?
I don't know yet. Oh, yeah, I gotta get better at that.
Yeah, you do.
Man, I'm glad the rain stopped. It was pouring earlier.
Oh, I know. Those windshield wipers look pretty sketchy, too.
They're terrible, but I think we're gonna be okay. Oh, the new mufflers make this drivable. I wouldn't be able to tolerate it the way it sounded before. It just sounded like garbage.
Well, it did, because it was leaking at the head pipes, at the manifolds, and then there were no mufflers. And the whole thing was all kinked up.
Yeah. I'm glad we put those 31s on the back to kill some RPM so that we can actually cruise the highway.
It doesn't really feel like it's revving its guts out.
No, it's not too bad.
I'm comfortable.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Something doesn't smell very good. Is that farms or something?
I don't know. My sense of smell has been burned out by all that kerosene smelled gasoline for the last 2 days.
That's awful.
Yeah.
See, this to me is the perfect example of don't get it right, just get it running. We like cobbled a fuel system, we made an okay exhaust system, we made the brakes good enough, and now we get to experience it to decide if we would want to go the next step on the truck. If we decided that we wanted everything to be flawless, this would sit in the garage forever and you would never drive it.
Right, like the Mopar muscle truck, for instance.
Right. I like taking the small roads anytime I can, especially in a truck like this. It's just so much more relaxing.
A little dirt road action.
Oh, yeah. You can't really counter steer with this steering box.
The steering is so slow on this thing.
Yeah, it is. This road looks pretty good. Oh, see, these guys know what's up.
Yeah.
Watch this. There you go. That's the way it's done when you're driving the D100.
No, you have instant credibility.
Right.
You will arouse no suspicion being, you know, obviously we're in their backyard.
Could you imagine if we drove through here and let's say like a brand new Jeep Gladiator? You'd never
What about a brodozer?
Ah, are you kidding?
Yeah.
Those guys would have waved you down and told you to turn around.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we got the cool wave.
We did.
Did you notice I gave him the...
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was perfectly executed.
Thank you. I think we only have about 2 hours left of driving. We're gonna roll this thing into the night, and tomorrow, Ranchero.
Ranchero!
Finally, it's the reason for this entire episode. We're gonna go dig this Falcon Ranchero out of a backyard. I got my buddy Sam to meet us. There he is right there, and he's gonna help us dig this thing out. Sam.
Hey, how's it going?
Thanks for coming.
Absolutely.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too.
Yeah.
Especially when there's work to do.
Oh, absolutely.
We're gonna need the help.
Yep.
Yeah. Have you checked out the lay of the land?
Oh yeah, it's gruesome.
You wanna look?
Yeah, let's go take a look.
Yeah. This is a little bit more buried than I anticipated.
Yeah, I don't see the Ranchero. Oh, there it is.
Oh, wow. Okay. Thanks, Sam.
Well, what do you think?
How did we get to this point? Well, first of all, you remember my buddy Sam. He's the guy who built the whole chassis on the F-Rod. You saw him in a couple of episodes where we took that thing to the track. And about 6 months ago, he sent me a photo of the Ranchero. And I think I saw this photo, and I was like, we'll take it. This is a 1960 Ford Ranchero. It has a solid axle front end conversion, a small block Chevy, and a 4-speed. It's not really a gasser. The guy who owned it built this thing in the early 70s just as a street machine. But I was asking him, how long has it been sitting here? And he couldn't really nail it down. But I'm getting the impression, let's say 1978. That's how long this has been sitting there, 78 to 2022. And so we got our hands on it. It's our job to drag it out of here. And that's going to be a big job. First, we got to remove the fence. Next, a whole bunch of wheels and tires to get out of here. Then we need to winch a square body Chevy out of the way. And finally, we'll get to unbury the Ranchero and discover it and haul it out of here. And I sure hope it's worth it. So far, I love the car. I'm not sure we're building it yet or what we're going to do with it, so no promises, but it's looking good. Sam got air on all the wheels and tires and also brought us tools and stuff. That's why we hired him for 10 bucks. And our next job here is to try and jack this up in the dirt, get wheels and tires on it. We've already discovered that it is in park and there's no key. So we're gonna have to either mangle the column or climb under and undo the linkage or whatever. I heard the clip go, there you go. Now we have to grab that and just pull it in anything but park, right? Okay, now we're gonna winch it back a little bit to try and get the front wheels on. We need clearance for the jack.
Okay.
Pretty good. You pushing, Steve?
Yep.
All right, we got gravity on our side. You good over there, Sam? I'm ready to stop it. Ooh, and you didn't get smashed. Yeah, keep it going. Yes. Now, all of this.
The pedals are not working. It turns into a scooter.
This is cool. Chuck, the guy who originally built this thing in the early 70s, custom ordered 13-inch slot mags and Bridgestone racing tires to make the front end of the car lower. They've been sitting up on jack stands, so we're hoping it'll hold air. Ooh, that is holding air. Hope it doesn't blow up into my face or other more critical parts. That is a roller. Look at that. Nice. Ooh, dude. Cherry bomb. Yes. Whoa. I just drove 3,000 miles in one of these. It was a little bigger. That's Rick Payway right there.
Alarm clock.
So far, I have to say the Ranchero is way better than I expected. I can't believe there's no rust in the bed, and the drip rails are all full of dirt and mold, but once you scrape it out, that's not rusty. But here's the big deal. Chuck, who's the guy we bought this from, told us that in the 80s or maybe 90s, it was inside the garage, and he was working in the rafters and fell through the windshield. So it's busted out of it, and that's why all this stuff is on here, which is making me concerned that rain's gotten through this over the years, and the floor pans are probably shot, and maybe even the dash. So let's find out. What is this? Oh, there's a Chevy truck grill under here. You know, it's interesting. He told me this thing was sitting since '78, but I get the impression it wasn't sitting here since then, because that's like, what, a 96 S10 grill? Something like that. And there's the broken windshield, which doesn't even look like it was safety glass. Oh, there's a lot of rat poop. Ooh. Yep.
Okay, let's try the air hose on the back and see if they'll hold air.
Ooh, I feel it coming up. Oh, it's working. No way. This is the WT Sport 60. This tire is from like 1974. It's a J6014, and it's about to roll out of here. Will it stay?
Yeah.
Yep. Now we got something. I think we're at the point where we're figuring out how to hook up the winch cable, and we're dragging this out of here.
We could push this thing out of here.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
There we go. We got this. Man, this car is light. Okay, you watching the fence behind you and the steering thing, whatever, post office box. All right, slow her down.
Here we go.
Got it. Nice work, gentlemen.
It's one of our better days.
Yep, bro. You ready for the good part?
I've got to see it.
Me too.
Yeah.
The small block Chevy.
Yeah.
Woo! Oh, look at the old Vic Hubbard Speed Marine sticker. This was an original inline 6-cylinder car, and Chuck put a small block Chevy in it because it needed more power. And people are probably still offended that it's not a small block Ford. Wow, this is really cool. I'm actually super pumped on it. How about you?
I really like it. This is a nice car.
And so you will see the Ranchero again, perhaps as soon as the next episode of Roadkill Garage. Oh, one more thing I failed to mention is that we had like 5 gallons of gas on the floor in here when we first walked in this morning. It's mostly cleaned up now, but it does smell like varnish rather badly. Even I am about to pass out. So you can imagine how the soft crew is feeling right now, breathing all these fumes. It's gonna offset their like vegan lunch.